Wow, talk about a bombshell. Recently, Capcom surprised Street Fighter V fans with news of another season of DLC. So many of us thought that Street Fighter V had wrapped up, but not according to Capcom. As announced, Season 5 will introduce more characters to the entry, as well as 3 new stages. To accompany the update, Capcom has announced a costume contest that will allow fans to submit art of the 40 characters for a chance of having their costume design in the game. Due to the success of Season 4's sales, this game was given an extension upon its expiration. Capcom has officially labeled this season of DLC as Season V, the last season of DLC for the game. Hey, I hope you don't mind me cutting in here. If you liked the video so far, make sure to subscribe for more content like this. Considering that, it begs the question of how Capcom intends to blow fans away one final time with Street Fighter V. Season 4 ended on a high note, reintroducing fans to bosses of previous Street Fighter games like Gil and Seth. Fans would have been satisfied with just that, and yet, here we are. This is fantastic news for Street Fighter fans, as this will allow Street Fighter V to remain in relevance for a longer period of time. This opens up the door for more fan-favorite characters to return to the game. At this point, even I can't predict what characters would return. Season 4 completely threw me for a loop. Your guess is as good as mine. Even still, that doesn't prevent us from showing our enthusiasm for our favorite characters. If I had to cast a prediction for the potential 6 characters in Season 5, I would first nominate a character that I feel has been neglected ever since the Alpha and Capcom vs SNK series, Eagle. Eagle is one of the original Street Fighter characters that debuted in the series' very first entry. Since that time, he has made very few appearances throughout the series. I feel as though the series is missing a vital character by excluding Eagle. The original Street Fighter game no doubt featured throwaway characters, but Eagle was among the few like Sagat and Gen who was actually interesting. Armed with 2 sticks, a unique melee-focused moveset, and a wealth of experience from fighting, Eagle would make for an interesting choice of character. Secondly, there's a character that has made multiple appearances within the story of Street Fighter V that I have been waiting desperately for ever since she was first teased. Sea Viper. Sea Viper is a character who was introduced in Street Fighter IV, a game that has very little representation within Street Fighter V aside from Jury and Seth. At this point, who doesn't know Sea Viper? She has a variety of tools to unleash elemental mayhem in the game. Street Fighter V has brought to life some truly unique movesets and revisions to those that were already established. Viper would fit perfectly in the cast of characters present in the game, revisions or lack thereof. Okay, so hear me out on this one. I know that we have a lot of Shotos in the game. If you consider the fact that Capcom has made an effort to differentiate the Shotos even more in Street Fighter V than ever before, one more wouldn't hurt, right? With that being said, I would love for Dan to be featured somewhere in the list of new characters. Dan is a fan favorite who acts as a gag character who fails to even produce a proper Hadouken. I feel like his inclusion would incite so much excitement among the community that it would steal the show, especially if his costume is modeled after the design from the comics and the concept design created specifically for Street Fighter V. Not only would it be a great look for the character with his peach fuzz, but it would also double as a parody of Ken's costume in the game. If I could return to the topic of legacy characters for just a moment, there is one character that I feel has been left out of the colorful cast of Street Fighter V. That character happens to be Master Gen. Personally, it is not often that I find an attachment to elder characters in fighting games, but Gen is a different story. I enjoy everything from the character's condescending attitude to his bizarrely unique moveset. I love his aerial bicycle kicks just as much as I love Chun-Li's spinning bird kick. It defies gravity and looks great doing it. Gen would be another character that would excite people. I miss seeing Gen in a tournament setting, so here's hoping that one of those slots is for him. Following up is Guy, a Final Fight character who is tragically missing from the one Street Fighter entry that has the most Final Fight characters in its existence. Guy is a sneaker-wearing ninja who prefers using his hands as weapons instead of using traditional ninja tools that you would commonly see someone like Ibuki utilize. With Guy's inclusion, I feel like everything would come full circle. Cody is in the game, Poison is in the game, heck, even his master is in the game. It would only be right? Lastly, I couldn't finish this list off without a Street Fighter 3 character. I thought long and hard about my decision. I know that people will comment about characters like Sean, Oro, 12, all characters that I have an adoration for. When compiling this list, I also considered each character's significance to the story, and felt that they would be wasted in that regard. They deserve better, like being in the vanilla version of Street Fighter 6, but that's just my opinion. This is a character who typically has a calm, light-hearted story and presence in the series. A debonair boxer who can somehow lift a teacup with his boxing gloves. Dudley. Dudley would make for the third boxer in the game, being preceded by Balrog and Ed. Despite that, he operates differently than the two mentioned prior. Armed with a flurry of punches, an uppercut, floor sweep, and freshly plucked rose, I feel like Dudley would make for a great addition to the game without feeling like a rehash of something already established. And those are the characters that I would like to see in Season 5. Of course, all of those choices could be totally wrong, but I'm alright with that. The last season of DLC for a game is supposed to be celebratory, a game on its last legs producing some of the best content it has to offer. Honestly, I feel like we're in for a treat. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed the content, check out my video on how Street Fighter V surprised me. You'll love it.